Just before we start, can we admire these cute little mushroom earrings my friend Taya made me? Aren't they so cute? I love them. I love them so much. It honestly feels like it's been so long since I've just sat down to talk to the camera. I'm sweating a little bit. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie and today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freak out, book tag mid-year freak out. It's halfway through the year, we're freaking out. We're gonna talk about all the books I've read this year, do a little recap. This is obviously going to be my first year doing this tag. This is one of my favorite videos to watch. I think mainly because like everyone does this tag. I genuinely think every single YouTuber that I follow does this video every single year and I love it. It's just so fun. And now that I have a channel, I want to participate. So this is my first time doing this tag. I'm very excited. We're just gonna discuss some books that I've read this year. It's gonna be a good time. A lot of these questions are actually really hard to answer. I've tried to make it so that I only have one book per question, but there are a few where I have more than one answer, so bear with me. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far in 2020? Definitely hard to pick just one, but I am going to go with The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And like, it feels kind of silly because this came out in 2011. Everyone has read this book. Like, I'm so late to the game, but that's why I have to put it as my best book of 2020 because it is just, what does it say on the cover? Dazzling, enchanting, breathtaking. It's all of those things. Took my breath away. Left me feeling dazzled and sufficiently enchanted. Like, there are definitely strong contenders for this question, but I just, in my gut, best book I've read so far, The Night Circus. Question 2 is, what is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020? For this, I'm going to say The Dragon Republic by Arif Kwan. I actually haven't read that many sequels this year, surprisingly. I'm usually like quite a big series reader. Haven't really done that this year. The only other option I really had for this was The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which was really good. A really good finale to that trilogy, the Truly Devious trilogy. I love those books so much. But The Dragon Republic broke my heart. I cried reading that book. Like, it is just incredible. The Poppy War and The Dragon Republic, easily some of the best books I've read so far this year. If this series is not like one of my favorites from 2020, I will be so surprised because it is so good and I cannot wait for the final book to come out later this year. Oh my goodness. I'm not ready, but also I want it like right now. Question 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to. Trust me when I say that there are so many, but the one that I'm going to talk about is one that is not something that I would usually want to pick up. I don't think. It's very different to almost everything else on my TBR for this year, and that is Docile by K.M. Spaza. So this is a sci-fi book. I don't think I have many sci-fi books on my TBR for this year. I think it's kind of like a dystopian sci-fi. All I really know about it is that lots of people are in debt, and to get out of debt you have to sell yourself to trillionaires. I think that's really all I know. I don't know, I heard about it I think late last year, and this came out in March, I think the start of March, and I still haven't read it yet, and I actually really want to. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, and I don't know if I think, like, I can't tell if it's gonna be good, but it's on there and it's different, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Question 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of this year. I have more than one answer for this question. Coming in first, Loveless by Alice Oseman. I cannot wait to read this book. It comes out in like a week or something, so soon. I'm so excited. The second book I want to mention is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This book just sounds so incredible, and I've known about it for I think since the start of the year. Like, it's been a while, and it was meant to come out earlier this year, but the release date got pushed back, so I am just dying to get my hands on it. I cannot wait to read this. It just sounds so incredible. And I mean, I have to say it, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I know, but it is definitely one of my most anticipated releases. I can't lie to you, I'm sorry. Fifth question is the biggest disappointment so far. And for this, I'm going to say Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I love Leigh Bardugo. I love Leigh Bardugo so much, and I know this came out last year, but I read it in January. I think this was actually the first book that I read in 2020, and it wasn't that great, and I think I was expecting it to be like incredible, and it wasn't, and I just, so sad. I really wanted to love this. It just wasn't for me, and that's okay. But definitely, I would say like this has been the book that I've been most disappointed with. Easy. I did give this a 3 stars, so it's not like I thought it was a bad book necessarily, but just definitely wasn't up to the standard I was expecting it to be. The next question is biggest surprise of 2020. For this, I have 2 answers. One is more like an honorable mention, and that is the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward, because I did not expect to read several books in this series. Like oh, it started to rain. It's not like I didn't pick up the first book with no intent of carrying on with the series, but also kind of. I didn't expect to actually like it, and so when I did, and then ended up reading the first like 10 books or so in the series, I'm still reading them now. I just, like, that absolutely was not what I was expecting. But I think one of the most surprising books from this year would be A House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig. Maybe not so surprising, because I wanted to read this last year because I thought it would be like one of my favorite books of 2019, and I did really love it reading it this year, so that's not what was surprising. I think I was just like reading that. It was not what I expected, even though I expected it to be good. It was just so different to what I had even thought it was going to be like, and it was definitely just one of the most exciting, surprising reading experiences I've had so far this year. I actually vlogged reading it for my Owl's Readathon vlog. If you want to go check that out. It's a little bit spoilery, but I highly recommend that book. It was just so good. Really good. The next question is, what is your new favorite author? Whether that is a debut author or a new to you author. So mine's going to be a new to me author, and that is Erin Morgenstern. The Night Circus, The Starless Sea. I actually read The Starless Sea first. I read that in January. I cried reading that book. It was so gorgeous. It was just like, it was so beautiful. And then I read The Night Circus. They're just so beautiful. Her talent is incredible, and I just, speechless. Both of her books have left me speechless. So it has to be her. It has to be her. The next question is newest fictional crush. And if you had have asked me this question about 2 days ago, I would not have had an answer for you at all. But I have just started reading The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. And when I say the Night Lord, oh my goodness. I love Nahadoth so much. I feel like this is not an answer people would expect. But that's it. The Night Lord, Lord of the Night. I love him. And I'm only 100 pages in so far, so I'm interested to see what happens, it's just all of the characters in general. But I'm loving this. Not only because of Nahadoth, the Night Lord, but he's definitely doing this book a lot of favors. That's all I'm gonna say. Next question is newest favorite character, and for that I have to say Anna Lightwood from Chain of Gold. Just an icon. She's incredible. If you've read Chain of Gold or any of the short stories with Anna in it, you'll like, surely you get why I love her so much, but just, she's incredible. A queer icon. I stan. The next question is, what is a book that has made you cry? There have been several, not gonna lie. I've teared up quite a few times reading this year, but I'm also going to mention a book that I am currently halfway through reading, Becoming by Michelle Obama. Oh my goodness, I did not expect to bawl my eyes out reading that book. I'm only about halfway through, but within the first 100 pages, sobbing. Just, wow, it's really, really good. I'm so glad that I've finally started reading it this year, because I've been wanting to read it for a while now, and it has just exceeded expectations. I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be emotional for some reason, but obviously it is. The next question is a book that's made you happy. Honorable mention to Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I loved this. So good. It was just so good. I loved it as like the first installment of the next series, but I also just loved it as part of the series just in general. But I would also like to mention A Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare. This was the first Tessa Dare book that I read, and it made me so happy. So happy. The serotonin I gained from that book, incredible. And I definitely wasn't expecting to love it that much, but I really, really did. It was so good. Number 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you have bought or received so far this year? And I mean, and it's not a new book, but I have to say Crooked Kingdom, I bought the collector's edition for my birthday this year, and it's just, I will never shut up about how beautiful these books are. So stunning. So good. And the last question is, what are some books that you need to read by the end of this year? Too many is my answer, but seriously, if you see that shelf there, the second shelf from the bottom, those are all of my unread books. I definitely want to make a dent in those shelves. I definitely need to read something, like at least one thing from that shelf. Like, I want to focus more on my own books rather than like saying new releases or anything like that, because there are plenty of new releases that I'm really, really excited for, that have come out and that I really want to get to, but it's just like, no matter what, no matter how much I really want to get to them, like I'll pick them up when I want to. I don't think any of them are a priority necessarily. So main priority, dealing with the books that I already own. And I mean, if I was to sit here and list all of the new releases that I desperately want to get to this year, we would be here for a long, long time. No, but that's it. That's my little mid-year freak out. I don't think, I feel like I answered these questions really quickly. I don't think you know how long I sat at my computer trying to figure out books to answer each question. It took me a really long time to think of books for each question. So this was very, very difficult to answer. Definitely had a little freak out. But I mean, we still have 6 months left of the year. Plenty of time to read lots of books. If you haven't done the mid-year freak out tag yet, I tag you, definitely do it, and let me know if you do, so I can come and watch your video. I finally finished with uni for this first semester. I now have a 2-week break, so I'm excited to sit down and plan some content, but I hope you've enjoyed the like 4 tags that I've done this month. I realize I've done so many tag videos. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in another video soon. Bye!